Oftentimes on this show, and Michelle excels at this, we look at ways to kind of help you save money on your Disney vacation. We're all looking for Disney deals here and this and that. What can we get for free? Can we give at a better price? Where can we stay maybe a little bit more inexpensively? But every once in a while when you go to a Disney, either a visit or a vacation or whatever it is, maybe there's something that comes up that you just want to maybe splurge a little bit more on something, adding a little bit of luxury to your Disney vacation. And well, I've got great news for you because Michelle is here to tell you how, if you have something special coming up, maybe you can add a little bit of luxurious fun to your amazing Disney stay, along with saving on money on other parts of it as well.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to delve into the world of like some high-end experiences at Walt Disney World parks and resorts. And they're not necessarily completely out of your reach. So this is all about intentional magic for those moments that this trip matters or this moment matters. So we're hopefully giving you some ideas that maybe you can select one or two that you haven't tried and maybe consider that splurgeable moment or special occasion to celebrate, or even just as Tom says, treat yourself.
Treat yourself. I say that, but I say that thanks to Parks and Recreation, who said that first. It is still amazing. I mean, the episode is amazing. We may have a total treat yourself episode at some point.
That's right.
But this is definitely a little bit of that. Yeah. It could be an anniversary. It could be a special birthday. It could be Tuesday. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do to treat yourself on a vacation and have that little piece of something that is maybe extra special. We all think, what's value, what this is value to us, that's value to us. We're not saying that you need to stay at the Four Seasons and get a VIP guide and do all this for your entire vacation. If you want to do that, great. Knock yourself out. But this is more just to add that little piece of luxury to your trip, right, Michelle?
Exactly. And just a forewarning, I think this might end up being a long episode because I was surprised how many things you can do that are, like I said, in your reach. Now, obviously, if you're the rich and famous and you want to do some special parties, private events, inside the park, maybe closing a park for a couple hours.
Yeah, you can do that.
You can do that. That's not what we're going to be talking about today. What we're going to be talking about are things that are luxurious, are high-end experiences that you can coordinate and enjoy on your trips.
Yeah, you can save on everything else.
Yes.
You can go stay at a value resort. You can buy the least expensive ticket possible. You can Disney dining plan, or you can do whatever you want for food. You can bring your own food, but that one time, that one thing, you're going to like, oh, that's where I'm spending all my money on this vacation. That's kind of like what we're talking about here.
Exactly. So we have different categories here. Let's first start with accommodations where luxury can begin. And the moment your trip stops feeling like a vacation and starts feeling like a special experience.
Nice.
So, all right, we're going to talk now and we're going to show some things. If you're watching us on YouTube, we'll be displaying some pictures and we'll describe them as well and just describe kind of more of the experience. And the first thing wanted to bring up that is available, but definitely a splurge is club level rooms. Not all of the Disney resorts have club level rooms, but you can research which ones. And I know people know about these, but maybe not realizing, some of the benefits that you might not consider, and that might, because of that, offset maybe in your mind the budgeting costs. One of the things that we really enjoy when we do club level, which isn't very often, but obviously
it's extremely rare, actually.
You do feel very special from the beginning because you usually have a separate area to check in versus the main lobby area. And so that kind of makes you feel special. You have to, have a special way to actually enter. You can't just not everybody can access the building or that area of the resort. So you start feeling really special that way. But some of the conveniences is just kind of knowing that you don't have to think about where do you want to go for breakfast, for example, that there's a breakfast buffet. We have pictures here from one of our stays at a club level over at the Polynesian, and so you can know that, all right, whenever we get up, we want to go, we have have access to the breakfast. And that's really nice. But I think some of the things we really enjoy about the club level is more some of the things later on in the day, like either your midday break where you just want to, kind of get away from the parks for a while and just have a nice place to relax and get some snacks. That's really cool. Happy hour in the club level is always fun. You can have some wine or beer or champagne, mimosas, things like that, and really special treats. And if you see here, some of the special dishes that they served during one of the happy hours we went to at the Poly. I mean, they're really nice, intricate dishes. You might even see somebody from the cooking team, whether it's the chef or somebody else from the team, actually assembling the special treats there right there in front of you. But that's not all. The other great thing is at the end of the night, when you're kind of done, your nightcap before going to bed, you can go in there and really enjoy a true nightcap, whether you're having a specialty coffee that maybe you're sprucing up with a little bit of Kahlua or Bailey's or something like that. If you're a kid or a kid at heart, they always typically have something like a ice cream bar where where you can have ice cream with special toppings on it as well. Really, all in all, your whole day can be really fun and special in that club.
Right. And it's not to say that, value is what value is. Not trying to say that what you get food wise, drink wise, and everything weighs out to how much you pay extra to stay in those rooms. But sometimes the convenience of it all and just knowing that you can come back to your room, it's like, oh, I know I can get a glass of wine, and I know I can get a little treat. I know I can get breakfast there by just stopping by there. I know I need a bottle of water. I can go pick up a bottle of water while I'm there. And also a lot of times they have some sort of concierge service there where you can talk with somebody and they might help you set up something else that you might be doing in and out the parks as well.
Right.
A lot of times those all take place within these club levels.
Exactly. And I know the way I'm kind of describing it sounds more because it's our experience, something that is maybe a little bit more romantic or whatever. But actually, if you are going with a family and having kids there, they really do treat the kids very special in this area. Their happy hour is filled with themed juices and treats and things like that. So it's something that could be enjoyable by any group that's going for that.
Yeah, there's a little something for everybody there, for sure. I think when we've gone, I would say the breakfasts tend to be the most hearty meal, figuring more people are, getting up in their rooms, getting breakfast, than going out to the parks or wherever they might be headed. And then later on in the day, everything else is kind of lighter bites. I mean, definitely enough that if you get enough of it, you can make a meal of it, but not necessarily. Right. More of just little things to little snacks to kind of help get you to that next meal during the day. But you could definitely get things like they have like Uncrustables there. Like the kids need a peanut butter and jelly jolt.
Right.
They have Uncrustables in there a lot of times, and you can grab those. I know I've enjoyed an Uncrustable there from time to time.
Exactly. But that's why I say like happy hour, the treats there, the small plates are just perfect and wonderful.
Yeah, and sometimes it's savory and sometimes it's sweet stuff. It just depends on when you're there.
Right. Now, if you really want to explore something really, really special, and that's like club level suites. We were really blessed one time to get a Pixie Dust upgrade here. So talking from here, but when you're looking at these types of rooms and what they're available for, not just splurging, but they have some really great opportunities or functions. Like if you're going to have a family gathering of some kind, for example, these rooms can really help be make that occasion really special. So, for example, we have some pictures here if you're watching on YouTube that are of our stay at the Contemporary at one of their club level suites. And they have various levels. This was like the upper level. We had a 1-bedroom club level suite. It
was 1 bedroom, but it was like an insane 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
Like it's a 1 bedroom with a huge sitting area. Like we're not talking like your typical, we've stayed in 1 bedrooms thanks to DVC points that we've used before. Like this thing, it was basically a grand ballroom size area with a 1 bedroom and a sitting area and a dining area and a huge balcony. Is amazing. By the way, speaking of YouTube, yes, you can see these pictures on YouTube right now if you're watching this. When you're done, go to our YouTube or stay on our YouTube channel, and we have a video of that suite in there, and you can check out the whole thing. It's insane. It's nuts.
Right. I mean, not only is it big, spacious, and they have like a lot of areas, like Tom was mentioning, a sitting area with couches and everything. They have a large table, and then outdoors they have multiple areas that are patios with seating areas or tables, and tables, not or, So again, when I saw that, I thought great area for, like I said, a family reunion or a cocktail party with some special friends or family members, whatever. But you just have so much space, and it's also very high-end luxury looking. So it's not just, oh, okay, this is nice that we have more space, but it is so well designed that it's just amazing.
And they have a specific club level tied to these suites at the Contemporary that is separate from other club levels within that space. I'm also going to say this. We did not pay for this room because I don't know what that room costs, but it's got to be crazy. Like that, if you're talking about splurging on luxury, like booking that room's got to be crazy. We ended up getting pixie dusted that room off of because they had to change a stay that we had booked somewhere else using DVC, and they just ran. We didn't even know. We went to the Contemporary and we
got this one. We got the phone call as we were driving out.
Right, but we didn't know that this was what we were getting when they changed it for us.
Right.
What we were getting. We started to try and go to where we thought our room was, and the elevator would not let us go up. And so we went to the lobby to the person at the guest services and asked, why can't we get to a room? He's like, oh, you're in this. I need to escort you to this room. It was like we just blew our socks off. We had all plans that night. We had to completely scrap those plans because we're like, no, we're going to enjoy this crazy suite. Right. It was just one night, but it was insane.
Yeah, it was. It was one of those really incredible moments to be able to have this experience. But it really did open our eyes to explore what kind of other things that they have. But everything there is so, like I said, the decor is beautiful. Even when you go into the restrooms and everything, they're so beautiful and lush looking. This is true luxury.
Yeah. My goal is to not pay for it, but someday get pixie dusted one of those rooms again.
Because I know that was crazy.
And more than just one night. Because it was just so cool.
Right. Yeah. Because, for example, with the other room that we were talking about that was club level, it was your typical, in terms of the room that you went into and slept, that was a typical resort room. Beautiful, wonderful. We loved it. But this is more of luxury in this type of room as well.
Yeah, definitely. And we've been in other club levels in other resorts, some that we've paid for, some that we were pixie dusted. We've done both. And those are really, really nice. They're nice rooms. They're in a nice place within the resort. And you get those extra things. But this room, I can't even talk about it.
I know.
It's insane.
Yeah. Even, the outdoor area, there were 3 separate areas on the patio that you could have groups of people. So it was
actually a shame. There was just 2. It's such a big space. But it was just the 2 of us. In some ways, it was a shame because it should have been used so much better for an entire family or a group that's getting together for some big event like you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, now another thing, if you're considering something like a family reunion trip, or, with other families, you might want to consider DVC. They're 3-bedroom villas. They call them grand villas. That are also very tremendous. I mean, they don't come with like the club level service, but they are amazing space locations. And although they're DVC villas, they do allow some people to reserve them, on a cash basis as well. So let's, thinking about that as a possibility. These, again, there's 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom villas for DVC, and they have full kitchens, full living room, dining room. They have the washer and dryer, et cetera. It's, like a mini apartment. But these grand villas have so much more to them, and, just a lot of luxury added. When you're looking at Bay Lake Tower, so if you're watching on YouTube, it's that upper right picture. You have 2 levels to your room, and the windows on the living areas go from the first floor to the second floor. I mean, it's not floor to ceiling, it's floor to floor kind of windows. I mean, just mesmerizing views outside that, whether you have a theme park view or a Bay Lake view. It's just amazing there. Similarly, over at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, they also have at the Kidani Resort, they have a split level that has very large windows there. Over at the Jumbo, they have these rooms. It's all one level, but it's 3 separate sections that are there, and they have each section has an outdoor area again with lounge chairs and tables and chairs and things. So really great again if you're having a family reunion or a party that you want to bring a lot of people together. There's so much space there in addition to just the bedrooms. And if you're looking at the picture of the lower left and there's a little arrow, that's a pool table. You have a game room with a pool table in there. And the picture on the right side shows those dome shaped overhangs that are of the 3 outdoor patio areas. I mean, it's spectacular way to have a very special, like I said, if you want to have a family gathering, or you have, you have you come from a large family with, kids, and you want everybody to have their own bedroom or whatever. I mean, they're very versatile, but just a lot of great space.
Yeah, we have a goal at some point to. We have not experienced any of these grand villas yet. Where we have a goal at some time when families visiting, or we can get friends together or both to do one of those. Maybe splurge on some DVC points and get one of those. Yeah, we don't know when that might happen, but at some point.
Yeah.
The only 2-bedroom we've ever stayed at was actually at Bay Lake Towers, but it was a lock-off 2-bedroom. So basically, it was just a 1-bedroom suite connected with a deluxe studio,
right.
With a door connecting them. So suddenly that turns into a 2-bedroom,
right?
Which is great. And we love the 1-bedroom suites at Bay Lake Towers, but it's nothing compared to like these things.
Yeah, these, they have a lot more space than just what you have, but also, you bring in the views and other things to it. Like at Grand Floridian, they don't have a pool table room, but they have a media room. So that's pretty cool. So each one has, something unique about it that they have available. Now, the new towers at the Polynesian, they have penthouse rooms. They are 2-bedroom. They're not 3-bedroom, but they're different and more special and larger than the regular 2-bedroom that you would consider for a DVC room. And spectacular views and really spacious outdoor sitting areas, again, with like table and chair and lounge chairs. And, if you have a theme park view, again, penthouse, so it's at the top. I mean, that's like going to the Villain's Lair at DVC or the California Grill, over at the Contemporary Resort. You're going to have those spectacular views of the fireworks in your own little hotel room.
You just got to walk up to the window or to the balcony or whatever it might be. Yeah.
Exactly. So the next one that is also a 2-bedroom that I thought we'd talk about because they are very luxurious is the cabins at Wilderness Lodge. They are truly a special place to stay. And we toured this first with DVC before we ever stayed there. And as the guide told us, these are in high demand. These cabins are definitely something that people who are having Super Bowl weekend parties, that is a great place. And we agreed that when you walked in and you looked, you thought, yeah, that would, once they said that would definitely fit that.
I was thinking also like a New Year's Eve party, like where you're not trying to do a big Disney thing, but you want to splurge a bit,
right?
Get a group together and you all put in and you have like a New Year's Eve party there would be a blast as well. But any celebration like that, I think would be a lot of fun.
Exactly. It again, it's 2 bedrooms, so it doesn't have a lot of sleeping space, but it has some. But again, more if you wanted to entertain, because it does have a huge living room area, dining room table, full kitchen, a lot of space there, and there's some fun outdoor areas as well.
Yeah, there's a great wraparound patio area. That's within some netting, so it keeps some of those bugs away.
Yeah.
And but it's a great space, and it has a little hot tub in there. So Florida, at sometimes a year you can decide if you want if the hot tub is good for you or not. But it's pretty cool to experience just the same. We did it in September. We had actually had some points that we had backlog from COVID that we were not able to use for a couple of years. So we had a lot of extra points. So we're like, what we're going to do? We're just going to do 2 nights in one of these cabins. And it was really, really special.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was amazing. Now, you mentioned the hot tub. Want to point out there is a sound system and speakers by that outdoor area, the hot tub. And so when the fireworks are going on, they actually synchronize the music to the fireworks. You can choose to turn that off if you want, but we did enjoy watching the fireworks. Now, our cabin wasn't the ultimate view of fireworks, but we saw some.
We could see the fireworks just fine. I mean, you can't see in the projections or anything, but you're not going to see all the fireworks because they're where Wilderness Lodge is. It's not it's separated from Magic Kingdom. There's water. There's an island there. There's also
a little lower. Yeah.
So you can see the upper level of the fireworks, but still pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, personally, my thought of this resort, other than what we talked about with the sense of parties, but just as a family going with it being a 2-bedroom, it's definitely that fuel and recharge kind of vacation. Fuel in the sense that you're close to the Magic Kingdom, you're close to getting an ease to get to any of the parks and everything. But the recharge part, you come back into that room and it's woodsy and it's just very calm and comforting feeling. And it is just spectacular. And this is another one that check on our YouTube channel for the video tour of this, that Tom did a great job on it as well.
Yeah, I did walk through it and I narrated through that one so you can mute me if you want to look at it, which is I totally get. I mean, I think many of you want to mute me most of the time, so I understand. So you can mute me, but it is a good look at what one of those what's in one of those cabins. But we will be going back to one of those at some point. Again, we just need to eventually stockpile enough points where we can do it again.
Or buy more. Yeah.
Or buy no. We can't buy more points. No.
But one of the cool features here, and it's easier to see in the lower right corner, is they do have in the living room area a TV over a fireplace, an actual fire burning fireplace. And what's really cool is on the other side of that, as Tom mentioned, that wraparound patio, you also have access to viewing that fireplace. So it's just really cool, unique little touches.
And don't worry for those of you who are, it's already 150 degrees and 99% humidity in Florida. It doesn't really give off a lot of heat. It just is more decorative fireplace than anything else there. Right. So I mean, obviously right now it's a cooler time of the year. You'd like there to be some nice fire going, but it's more just, it's just kind of cool and soothing and mesmerizing and just kind of zen.
That recharge part of the vacation. All right. So we've talked about some obvious, we've talked about some accommodation things that can be luxurious, but there are obviously some park experience that, you can do Disney volume pump up on your park experience. And it's like thinking same parks, but different perspective, And so the first one we're going to talk about is maybe you got to go to the parks like a movie star. And what we're talking about here is the VIP tours or AKA the ultimate Disney fan experience. And I know people know that exist, and it's one of those things where, you can plan it in advance and get your specific activities and details worked out with their guide. So that happens. They can take you to multiple parks. You don't have to just stay in one park, And yes, it's great if you are even wanting to get a bunch of people together. You can get up to 10 people. Now, everybody counts, even if you have an infant, but you can have up to 10 people, and maybe you might want to consider doing something like that and splitting the cost.
Yeah, I will say, if you're somebody who's looking to get it on a lot of premier attractions that maybe there's big wait times, and you're thinking about doing like Lightning Lane Premier Pass or whatever it's called now, and you're looking to spend that money on a large group of people, you may want to consider that this might be something you want to do for a day or for multiple days, because yes, it will be a little bit more expensive, but you're going to get even better service. You're going to get
Right.
into better areas, including many places that Premier Pass cannot get you in, because you're going to, and plus you're going to have this very experienced guide that will know where you should go and where you should check out, and may give you some tips on how to make your Disney day even better.
For sure. And they can also give you information about the parks. They're very knowledgeable about the parks. So they're not just taking you from either attraction or whatever, but they're, educating you on what is the history about that park.
Yeah.
So,
The guides are awesome. Every single guide I've ever run into. Yes, we do a lot of the tours actually in the parks. We've done that with the guides. They're phenomenal, but every one of them, they know their stuff. They know what they're talking about. That's a reason why they get awarded a D pin.
Right.
It's because they know their stuff, and they've been, really, really great at customer guest services. They know their stuff. And yeah, having one of those lead you around and tell you what's going on, and making sure you get to the best part of your day. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Something
sure.
we have not done. We
Right.
have not done the VIP tours. We've done tours,
Right.
but not like this kind of tour,
Right.
Something, again, maybe with family, friends, we got all splurging a little bit. Someday we might do something like that, but we have not done that yet.
Exactly. All right. The next kind of way that you can enjoy the parks, I say, is spirited fun. And so we have a couple examples. There are some high-end experiences there.
That is spirited fun.
It is spirited fun, quote unquote. So the first one talking about is GO82, specifically the firework experience, because you can go into GO82 as a lounge and do that. But the fireworks experience is something that is a unique, separate experience than just going into the lounge. They have a separate menu and separate drink offerings that they provide to you. So it is really a special situation and way to experience the fireworks over at Epcot.
Yes, and we've done it. And it is really, really nice. I mean, bottomless champagne, really, really nice champagne. Bottomless champagne. Also, a couple cocktails that you can order. Specialty cocktails are really, really good. Different foods that you can't quite order there normally, and a great, excellent service while you're there, and a great view of the fireworks. It is phenomenal. Now, I will say this: we did it, and we probably won't be doing it again because we feel that there's other ways to do GO82 and experience that, and still be able to see the fireworks, and maybe pay a little bit less. Still high end, because GO82 is pretty high end. But maybe not as high end as that. But it is something that you may consider trying at some point, for sure.
Right. And our experience may be different than others. I mean, we didn't have any problem. Like Tom said, the service was excellent. The food was delicious and everything. It was just more, if you're looking to really experience the fireworks aspect of it, yes, you are getting that, but it's not the ultimate firework experience.
Right. And it's also, I don't think, the ultimate GO82 experience. I mean, I think that there are some really, really nice things about it. But I think if you really want to check out GO82 and try the different drinks, try the different foods that they have available for you, because you don't get the same foods, that there's different ways to do that. Also, I will, put this asterisk on it for when we were there, that was the night when we had wristbands to go to the final show of Muppet Vision 3D. And so we were all kind of going through that whole experience knowing we really want to get to that as well, not knowing if we would or not. So there's a little aspect of that playing into this as well.
For sure. And I think this was either night 2 or 3 of when they were offering this experience. So it was very new.
It was very new.
They
may have adapted since then. Right. Even better. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
So the next high-end experience that you could have that is a spirited experience is the La Cava experience over at the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot. And that, as they say, you embark on a magical journey into the region of Mexico where tequila was born. Now, that what you get with this is a certified tequila ambassador who guides you through some very specialty and rare tequilas, pairing it up with some other food or things that accompany that pairing, flavoring to really give you that ultimate experience. And the other cool thing to know when you're doing this is that you are tasting some tequilas that are exclusive to La Cava experience that you cannot get anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, we've met one of the people who guides you through that. We met them on the DBC member cruise, Umberto, and he was wonderful. Well, this is something we have not done yet. But now that we know Michelle can tolerate tequila better than she thought, like she's had some tequila drinks recently that she's liked, maybe this is something we'll be doing somewhat soon, I think, because I really would like to experience this. And I think Michelle is maybe finally on board to doing this as well.
Yeah, I have to say, I think getting to meet several of the people from the Cava experience and seeing how fun they are and how joyous type people they are, I thought, yeah, I think I want to do something where they're involved in that. It is pricey. It's $180 plus tax. Gratuity is included in that price. But we have heard from many people who just rave about it, even with that price tag, rave about it and say it's definitely worth it. So
yeah, this is something that I want to do soon. I want to try and book this soon.
Right.
I really think this will be a lot of fun and something to talk about on our show, for that matter. Maybe even you can reconnect with Umberto.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah. I would really like to do this sometime in the near future. So we need to start looking into that. But you should look into that if you have any interest in that kind of experience, for sure.
Right, exactly. And once we do experience, we'll share that with you as well.
Of course, we do everything. We overshare.
I know. All right, the next type of experience in the park I call adventure, and again, you're getting to see the park in a different perspective, a more adventurous expensive, a way to have a different type of vacation over at Walt Disney World.
The Cava experience is quite an adventure.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. But there are some ways that you can step out of the ordinary, and maybe you're looking for an adventure where you get to go on a privately guided VIP expedition over at Disney Animal Kingdom. That's right. On the Wild African Track, you get to go on this private tour. Private in the sense that you're with other people, but they're small groups of people. And you get to go out in really the behind the scenes area of the savannah there and get to experience some things that nobody else does in the park. For example, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see where, in this particular one, I'm going across a bridge, and I believe that was over some crocodiles.
Yes, it is over crocodiles.
It's a very high bridge, but it is over crocodiles. And you also get to have some behind the scenes, then your own vehicle that takes you there. You can kind of see here how close you actually get to some of the animals on this ride compared to the regular, what is it?
The Kilimanjaro
Safari.
You get close too, but this is a little bit more intimate and really nice.
Because this one you go off track.
Right.
And in fact, we had an experience where there was a rhino that got right in front of us, and we just
my space. I don't know what you guys are doing here.
And with their philosophy, this is the animals, like you said, this is the animal space, and we just wait till they decide to leave. There's nothing going to force that.
It was nothing scary. It was just like, okay, he's there, we're here, we're just going to be here for a little while until he decides, I'm going to shuffle on along.
Exactly. Another thing, if you're looking on YouTube, in the lower right section is a picture of us near some rhinos, and
I think that was us near crocodiles, I believe. Or no, it was hippos.
Oh, that's right.
That was near the hippo.
Right. And in fact, I think they were feeding them right there in front of us as that was going on. So you're getting really close to the animals, especially compared to any other times you can experience those animals over at Animal Kingdom Park. And then they take you to a really beautiful location that you get to have an opportunity to taste some dishes that are very African inspired dishes, and they're beautiful. They also have some juices, but and some wines that are also from Africa. So.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, it takes a little bit of physical ability
Right.
to get through this, because you are walking through some uneven grounds, some moist grounds as well. Like Michelle showed you that picture, you can see her walking on that rope bridge. It's all perfectly safe. They have you latched in and everything. You're good. They take very good care of you. It's safe. But it is, you're going to be a little bit more physically active on this, but the intimacy of it all, the closeness to the animals, the experts guides that take you through it and explain things to you on their way. And then this wonderful meal in the middle of the savannah, which most people are not going to get to
Right.
experience at any point. It's just all really, really special. It's something we've done. We had it booked again for another trip, but unfortunately that was that trip where we both got sick.
Yeah, we got the flu.
So we had to cancel that. But we will be doing it again because it is so fun and amazing, and it's a real treat.
Exactly. But let's say that you want to experience some of this same kind of fun, but you don't feel like physically inclined to do as much. They do have the Savor the Savannah, which also takes you out on the what do they call it? The Harabi Wildlife Reserve areas. And you do have a guide there who's talking and explaining, the animals that are around you. So you're, again, up close and personal. And you do get to have that same kind of dining experience.
I think it's in the exact same spot.
Right. Yeah. So it's just I think the one thing that is leaving out from the Wild
Africa Trek.
Yes, thank you. Is that you're not doing a lot of the same physical type of activities, but you still get to explore a lot of the great other aspects of that tour. The one thing too that was really great in the tour that we took is they do have a professional photographer who's actually taking pictures of your particular tour and the experiences that you have there. So not just pictures of here we have me, and we've had some, the one of Tom and I there, but they also take pictures of some of the other things going on around and the other animals and things around. So you get to have that as a keepsake, all those photos.
Yeah, that's included. Like even if you don't have the photo pass,
right,
that's included in it. Also, I assume it's still the case. You get a little prize that goes along with it that you can take home with you.
Yeah,
as
an
well.
extra souvenir.
I won't tell you what that is, but it is something that's nice, and we do use it still to this day. Yeah,
exactly. But there are some other adventure things that you can do, and that is, now this one isn't. This one is park related, but you actually start over at the Disney Animal Kingdom Lodge. And so you don't have to have a park admission for this one, but it is one of those signature, what do they call it, enchanted extras that you could do. It's the Starlight Safari. So it's after dark that you're going to get to go out there and explore the animals in their habitat at nighttime, even with those night vision glasses. So a really different, unique way.
That would be different. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, to experience that as well. And the last adventurous one that we want to talk about, if you are a certified diver, certified,
and driver,
yes, definitely certified diver, then you can take a guided tour under the sea. And over at Epcot Seas Adventures, they have Diver's Quest there that you can also do that, which is totally a unique adventure, a different way to experience Epcot.
Well, that's something you need to be certified in. It's not like we've done
that's why I said a certified diver.
You can kind of learn to dive, and then they'll take you out somewhere and you can do that. Here, you actually already need to have that certification in place. But
exactly.
If you are, what a unique experience. What a unique diving experience for you.
Right. And I, again, before we get into the other portions of this, just want to point out that these are ways that, again, you're experiencing the same parks you've been into, but in a much different way. And, hopefully some of these sound like they are calling to you.
Well, I mean, for one thing, Michelle here is getting to a lot of different things, from just simple luxury to, getting out and being more physical and athletic and doing interesting, adventurous things.
Right.
There's something for everybody here who wants to who has the money to splurge on some of these things,
For sure. Exactly. All right. So the next thing that we want to talk about is the signature dining experiences, where the dinner becomes the event. It's not just eating, but memory making. So what we've included here are the restaurants. If you're looking at Disney Walt Disney World website, when you're looking at the restaurant list, they have like the $4 signs, meaning it's over $60.
These are the 4 bank signs.
Yeah.
Because you need 4 full bank accounts
Right.
to take care of these. Yeah.
Now, these are all well over $60 a person. So these are definitely splurge things to talk about. So the first one we want to talk about is Victoria and Albert. And that obviously a lot of people have definitely heard about that. It is difficult to get into there, but it is quite an elevated signature kind of experience for dining.
Yeah, it's something weird. Another one of those that we have not done yet, but we probably will at some point. But that is going to be a bank breaker for you. But if you're looking for the ultimate in service and unique food and interesting food and a fascinating dining, like something that you will always remember. We know we've done something similar on board Disney Cruise Line with Remy and Enchante. The same, very similar chefs. As a matter of fact, in some cases, the same chefs that put together the menus there. The experiences are similar, so we know what that's about. We have not done Victoria Albert's, but knowing what it's like there, we know what Victoria Albert's will be like, and it's really, really special.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and it's one that we'll admit it is difficult to get a reservation because they only have a small amount of seatings. It's at night. It's not every day of the week. So it is something that is in high demand. But but the next one that is also a very elevated experience is over the Japan Pavilion in Epcot, and I hope I say this right, the Takumi Tai restaurant over at the Japan, as I mentioned, Japan Pavilion.
I don't even know if I said it right.
Okay.
I'm confident it's Takumi Tai.
This one.
So you believe me, right?
Truly, I totally believe you got it. 100%. So here you can have your choice of 2 menu types. They have the Kiku, which is for people who eat meat. And then they have the vegetarian courses, which is the Hasu. So these are fixed price menus. Now they do, within each of those, you can choose either a full course or what they call a semi course. The semi is the same dishes, but smaller portions. So, so you are doing a fixed price, and it's the chef's choice. The chef is making up the menu. So, you're going to get the ultimate in freshness and something that the chef really is proud to present to you.
And that's not right for everybody. Some people, they want to pick their own things. And so if that's not you, then don't splurge on something like this. For me, I trust chefs. Well, I mean, I went to culinary school, so I have a lot of trust in chefs in what food they present to you. And this is an exciting experience for me. I want to know what that chef's palate is. I want to know what they think is special and what they think that we would like. I'm always happy to put my dining experience in the chef's hands. But again, that's not for everybody. Not everybody wants that.
Right. That's true. Are you adventurous? This restaurant has multiple rooms and they're all themed. They have water, wood, earth, stone, and washi paper. And what's really also unique here, if you want to even elevate your experience more, is in the water room, you can rent that for small parties, and so there is a rental fee. I think it's $100, plus obviously the cost of the food. But considering if you do want to have that really special, intimate group where it's just, I think it looked like it was about 10 people could fit in that location, that area. But anyways, if you want to have that very special kind of dining event with some people that you really want to experience that with, that might be a really nice way. And again, for not considering what you're paying, and I don't know if I mentioned the prices, the full course, so the full size portions are $250 a person. For the the smaller plates, it's $150 plus tax and gratuity for both of those. So, but considering you're already paying that, and you have a group of people you want to have together privately, that you could certainly look into to renting out the water room there. Yeah,
so definitely. By the way, going back to Victoria and Albert's, they also have a chef's table where you can be in the kitchen and they'll treat you to things too. That is another level. From Victoria Albert's. But
exactly.
another thing you can do.
Yes. Good. I'm glad you pointed that out. Yeah. All right, another high-end or signature dining location is at the France Pavilion at Monsieur Paul. They have now a fixed price menu. It's $195 plus tax and gratuity. We've experienced that restaurant, which is really superb. That's the one. If you go into the French Pavilion, it's kind of in the back of the area where like the ice cream shop is. It's
Yeah.
kind of near
And up
that.
above Chefs de France.
Right.
So it's the next level up from that.
Right. The doorway is kind of in that, the
But
entryway
the
is
doorway's in the back. Yeah.
right. So that, and that has window views also that look out over to Epcot World Showcase. So it can be a really special dining location for sure.
Yeah. Exquisite food for theme park food. You're not going to see many restaurants within the theme parks
Right.
themselves. Like a lot of what we're talking about here. I mean, I guess Tecumate
Right.
is
It's
in the theme park as well. But a lot of what we talk about, even the higher level restaurants that you'll find in the parks, don't compare to like Monsieur Paul.
Right.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It really is.
Yeah.
Not for everybody. Definitely not price range for everybody.
Right.
Especially when you're talking about a park like Epcot that has so much great food in it already. But if you're looking for that elevated experience, you may want to look into possibly doing Monsieur Paul.
Yeah. I mean, this to me shouts romance, that you could have that experience, very special. We actually, I think, asked us to meet the chef who was very gracious and came out and met with us. And we got a picture with him as well. I mean, it really is something that is unique and special at the park. Like, if you go to Epcot a fair amount and you're familiar with it, this might be a splurge you might want to consider.
Yeah. So it's not right for everybody. It just depends on what your palate is, what you want to spend on food. But it's worth maybe a try at some point if you really want to spend and have an exquisite dining experience within your day at the park.
For sure. Now the last one I want to talk about is the California Grill, which is that restaurant that's on top of the Contemporary building, and obviously it includes firework viewing. But there are two ways you can enjoy this particular restaurant. One is just the fine dining, regular fine dining. It's a fixed price, 3-course menu. It's $100 plus tax and gratuity. And that's great. You can go there, and no matter what time your reservation is, you are still able to come back and watch the fireworks, even if you go at it earlier in the evening. You can do that. So it's not like you can only stay and watch the fireworks if you come around that time of the evening. No, that's not the case. But there is another one that is particularly exciting and special there, and it's called the Celebration at the Top, Sip, Savor, and Sparkle. And that's $169. Now, this one when you first get there, and this one you go in closer to the time of the fireworks. It's specifically related to the fireworks. You start with some small plates. They have some that are savory and some that are sweet. And you can also have complimentary drinks from the bar as well, as long as you're 21 and over. And then you go watch the fireworks, and following that, you come back and that you have what they call a flavorful finale to your evening. And it's a spread of like petit fours, cordials, and coffee. So it's just really a nice special way, again, celebrating something maybe and including the fireworks viewing at that same time.
It's also Sip, Savor, and Sparkle is also the name of any time you dine with Michelle. She's going to sip, she's going to savor, and believe me, she's going to sparkle. No question about that.
You're sweet. You're funny.
But that sounds fun. That sounds really nice.
Yeah. And they don't have that every night, but you can check to see. Again, it's one of those in high demand. So, but if it's something that you're considering, keep an eye out and try to reserve that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we have not seen the fire. I will say this. We have not seen the fireworks. Well, I don't know. I have not. I think you may have seen it from the level where California Grill is. We've not. We've seen it over from Bay Lake Towers and up at the Villain's Lair at Top of the World. We've done that. But I think they're very similar in their experience. And seeing the fireworks, I can tell you that you really get a great view of the Magic Kingdom fireworks from there.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. When you go outside, that they dim the lights and they pipe in the music to synchronize with the fireworks. So, other than the projections, you're really experiencing a wonderful show, and happily ever after is such a great song and fireworks.
And you can't see a
display.
little of the projections, not completely clearly, but not. One thing you definitely do is you're going to get all the feels when Tinkerbell flies. Because you will see Tinkerbell fly, assuming she does. She does most nights. And when she does, it's still undefeated. You're going to get those feels.
Yeah. Everybody cheers, and I get teary-eyed thinking about it, and everybody gets emotional in that. One of the other things I noticed at this, the California Grill is the large tea selection they have. They have quite a few varieties of teas.
Now you're speaking Michelle's language right there.
I was like, how did I not know this before? So, anyways. Now, the other thing that thought we could delve into are some experiences that are outside of the park, but still within Walt Disney World, kind of the hidden gems, the things that, most guests never think about doing, but really are a nice, fun splurge. And the first one we want to talk about is what you can do at a few of the resorts, and that is cabanas. And I'm talking not the restaurant cabanas on the Disney cruise ship. I'm talking about reserving and renting a cabana for the day. They have these, again, at not every resort. I think it's the Contemporary, Grand Floridian, and Beach Club. Yeah.
I think those are the only ones I know of.
Now, you do have to be staying at that resort in order to reserve these cabanas. And we have some pictures, again, if you're on YouTube. I don't think they really give it justice to what you're experiencing. It's a large space, but you do get multiple recliners. You get a couch. You get a mini refrigerator that they stock with some soft drinks, and if they waters, and if you want to swap out diet for non-diets and things like that, they'll do that. They have a safe there so that if you want to, take a dip into the pool and you don't want to worry about
or take a walk away because it's your reserved space. You can go get a meal. You can go into the parks if you want to come back.
Right. You don't have to worry about finding that spot.
And maybe it's your day that you checked out of your room, for that matter, or getting ready to check in. And so maybe you're going to do some stuff, and you have some of the stuff with you that you can't put in your room.
Right. Yeah. So it's a little safe that you can do to keep that contained. They do have a TV in there. So you can, and what it is you can either have it fully opened or partially opened or fully closed, and, just have that space for yourself, more secluded, and then open it up when you want to have views outside. And, they do give you some snacks. It's usually like some fresh fruit that you can have, but then also they do have a server who comes around quite frequently and will go to pick up items you may want to get from the bar and bring them back. So whether that's food or beverages, that is not included in the price, the cost of those food and beverages, but the service of them going is included.
Yeah, you get the soft drinks, the waters, the sometimes fruit, and maybe some snack packs of chips as well that you can enjoy.
So, but yeah, that is, it's high end, but it's really, again,
it's very high end.
Yeah. It's a very nice,
and not
luxurious, right. They only have a few at each of these resorts. So you have to at your 60-day mark, be on the phone calling them,
or checking back, because sometimes cancellations.
True.
And you can luck into them occasionally. So if that's something, we've done it once and enjoyed it. We enjoyed our time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Scott was with us and he really loved it.
I don't know if we'll do that one again, but we did like that we did it just that one time. And it worked well because we were actually on a standard view room at Bay Lake Towers, which many of the standard view rooms are on the first level. So we were able to just kind of, when we wanted to go back to our room, we could just walk through our sliding glass door. We just kind of left it unlocked. Not that we do that all the time, everybody. But we were able to just, we need to get something in the room. We could just walk up through the backside and get in there and not have to even worry about going into the whole hotel and everything.
Yeah. Or even just like the restroom.
Right.
You could use the restrooms located by the pool, but for us, it was just as convenient to kind of just walk a few feet more and get into our room. And so
once another, not technically a cabana, but similar, something we've done many times and we will continue to do because actually I feel like it's a very much of a bargain, is those Oasis, what are they called? The Oasis patios at the Polynesian Resort. Now those are exclusive too and tougher to find because there's only 3 of them. But if you can book one of those when you're staying at the Polynesian, to me, it's a steal. You have the reserved space, the snacks, the drinks, all that stuff there, cushioned area to sit. If you have a family of 4 or 5 people, I mean, it's ridiculously great. And it's not, compared to what a cabana costs, it's less than half the price.
Right. I mean, I think that one of the things you're not getting in that, and why I didn't include it here, is you don't have like the seclusion. You can't seclude yourself off. Right. You don't have the safe. It's a little. It's great. It's definitely an elevated, super wonderful, and I agree with you. Our preference of how to do this, especially for the price. But if you're looking for real luxury, the cabana does provide you some additional features.
Yes, there are definitely.
Yeah, you're definitely more you definitely have more of that seclusion, as well as like the TV and the, you actually have a refrigerator, whereas the other one you have your soft drinks are on ice and things like that. So there is a little bit of a difference. I'm not, again, I think our preference is the patios, but wanted to include.
And by the way, they also have like cabana type spaces at the water parks at Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach that you may be interested in if you don't want to try and be fighting for those lounge chairs, trying to find that perfect spot when you're going on your day there, especially maybe one of those days where you're not paying for the park anyway.
Right.
Maybe you splurge a little more on where you are sitting within that park.
Exactly. Good example, honey.
Thanks.
Nice. The other splurge that you can do outside of the park is a spa treatment. It's very luxurious way to treat yourself and maybe even run into a celebrity.
Like Michelle?
No. And now the spa.
She savers and sparkles.
Now, the spa that they have at Walt Disney World is at the Grand Floridian. And what they do is they do have a relaxing room that has some light refreshments, some soothing music in the background. And guests can go there before and after their treatments. It's a nice place, but it's kind of like an open area of sitting. Now, the amount of service that they offer there is just huge. So I'm not going to go through any of or all of those. But if you're looking for whether it's, some type of massage or mani-pedi or anything like that, you're going to find something there that sounds amazing. And yes, once I was there, I was treating myself to a special luxurious time there. And while I was in the the relaxing room, and this was during the Festival of Holidays time. And that evening's narrator was there as well. And I won't say who it was, but she was very friendly to all of us that were in there either before waiting for or right after our treatments. Nice. And so I'm not saying that would always happen, but it is pretty nice if you luck out and get to meet somebody special. But
like Michelle.
But anyways, I digress. We were talking about some experiences of how to watch the fireworks. Well, there's another one that maybe not a lot of people think about. And that is one that is, because there's dessert parties. And we talked about California Grill, the DVC Villain's Lair, but a real luxury way of experiencing the fireworks, whether you're talking about the ones over at Magic Kingdom or Epcot, is, chartering a captain and vessel for your own private fireworks cruise. And this one I really feel screams romance. I mean, picture the setting, you and your loved one out on the water, watching the fireworks. The captain's maneuvered the boat into the right position and that music is playing and the fireworks going off. Can you feel the love tonight? Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube here, I did go to one of the Disney photographers' website and pick out an example of where a couple was out there enjoying the fireworks. But on the flip side, if you're with a group of friends or family members, you get 10 people and split it up. It's really not that unreasonable cost. It's about $50 a person. And you can actually book this yourself online, easy peasy. It's, again, one of the enchanted extras, but a really special way to enjoy the fireworks.
Right. And this, not like they sell several different locations at the Disney parks. Unlike the cabanas where you need to be staying there, you can book this separately, not staying at that actual resort. But one of our favorite things when we're at Bay Lake Towers is to sit down and watch them, because we can see them getting those boats ready. And some of them, they, are pretty simple in what they do. Some people pay a little extra and have their boats really decked out with a lot of decorations and other fun stuff as well.
Right. You do get, along with your captain, you do get some snacks and soft drinks. You can bring some of your own like alcoholic beverages. You just can't have them in glass containers. So if you wanted, say, for example, to have some champagne, you would have to put it into something plastic. But that's the only regulation that they have for that. So, kind of like what we talked about at the beginning of this, you don't need to do all of these splurges or all of these luxuries, but maybe one or two of these can transform your entire trip. And splurging is something that could be something you find special for a particular reason.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be every trip, just one special trip that you're on, one special day. Whatever, save up for it. Do it. I mean, you never know. You might, if there's any of these things that call out to you, and there are so many more. This is just scraping the surface, honestly, of a lot of, unique, interesting pieces of luxury that you can involve in your Walt Disney World vacation. There are so many ways you can do this. And again, splurging is different for everybody. Some people, a splurge is Victoria and Albert chef tables. Some people splurge as chefs de France. It's what is right for you, what is right for your wallet and for your palate and whatever it is that you enjoy. Take advantage of that. Just because we said these are high level things doesn't mean that is what luxury is. Luxury is what it is to you, and enjoy that and definitely take advantage of it on your Disney vacation.
Absolutely. And as I mentioned, these are ones that are within your scope of being able to reserve. But if you do want assistance, if you're booking your trip through a certified Disney vacation planner, they can help you. There is Disney Signature Services, and you can find that information out on their website. Just ask for Signature Services. Now, they can help you with making reservations, etc., but they are still bound by the 60-day resorts, 60-day advance stay requirements. And you need to be staying at a club level, at least a club level stay or above to get this service. Unless you have the VIP tour booked, then you can also use Disney Signature Service. Yeah. So anyway, so that is our look at some ways to enjoy some luxury at Walt Disney World.
I love it. And so we focused on Walt Disney World here. Obviously, there are other luxury experiences at Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, other Disney parks. We may get into that at some other point, doing that as well. But Michelle, great job exploring luxury. There's a lot of things we've done that I want to do again. A lot of things that I'm looking forward to trying and experiencing at some point for sure. So, and that is how to add a little bit of luxury to your Disney vacation.